Hello everyone. Today we have reached the most important part of Excel, which is formulas and functions. This is the main objective of Excel, how to make Excel do the hard work for you, how to ask Excel to do all the calculations, hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of calculations for you as easy as a piece of cake. Let's start today's session. In order to type a formula and to tell Excel that what you are going to type should be handled as a formula, you need to start your text or whatever you will write in the cell with a special sign like this, like equal or plus sign or the negative sign. These three signs give Excel the permission or the sign to act as a formula or to handle whatever you type in the cell as a formula, not as a regular text. So these three signs give a sign to Excel to handle what's inside the cell as a special treatment or as a formula, not as a regular text. Okay, let's see. If I type something like 5 plus 3 and then push enter without starting with one of these signs, I will push enter. Excel will consider this as a text. I am just typing 5, this is one character, plus this is another character, and 3, and this is another character. But if I start by an equal sign, then 5 plus 3, then enter, Excel will not handle this data as a text, but it will handle it as a formula. Okay? So, formula means an equation, something plus something else, or a multiplication or division or subtraction. These are equations, okay? But functions we will deal with later on in this session. We will know more about the functions and what are their names and what they do. Let's now just focus on formulas. So formula means you start your typing with plus, equal, or minus sign. Like in this case, I'm starting with equal sign. And then I can type a mathematical formula same as this. Then I hit enter. So Excel will do the calculation for me. Of course, if I'm just using a single calculation like this, couple of numbers, just adding couple of numbers, this doesn't make any sense because I can do it manually or with my brain. I can just sum them together or add them together. But the functionality of Excel or the greatness of Excel, if I have many numbers or too many numbers and I need to do the same formula in Excel. Let's see them step by step, one item at a time. Okay. Now let's see. Here is the result. I can see only the 8. I cannot see how this 8 is formed of. But if I look into the formula bar in here, I can see the details. I can see the equal sign, 5 plus 3. Also, I have three icons here. One is an X sign, one is the tick mark or check mark, which is this one, and the other one is FX. What are these? If I try to type anything, maybe I need to change this one. Maybe I can add 2 to this formula. If I want to confirm whatever I typed in here and to ask Excel to interpret or to process, I need to hit this this sign, this check mark, or simply I can push enter. But now I will, for a change, I will use this icon. I will click it like this. Now my addition or whatever I added or edited here is accepted. Okay, I'm pushing the accept button here. Of course, when I hover over it, you can see enter, the word enter. That means simply you can push enter on the keyboard instead of clicking on this sign. Okay, what if I need to cancel this editing or this edition? I made some editing and I need to cancel it. For example, I need to do this editing, but I don't want to do enter. I want to cancel it. Either to press escape, which is the farthest button on the top left corner in the keyboard, or I can choose this X mark or this X icon to cancel my editing like this. Okay, once again with the keyboard I will do like this and I will press escape. Same effect. Okay. So this bar is called a formula bar, and this is accepting the editing icon, and this is for revoking or ignoring the editing icon. This one is called it types the enter. That means you can push enter, and the other one is called cancel button. Type. What about this fx? This is function. We will talk about it when we come to the function part. But briefly, when you push it, it will open you a list of the most recent functions you used, or most common functions used in Excel. And as you can see here, most recent use, or maybe if you didn't use anything at all, it will give you the most common functions. But if I come and open this drop down menu, I can see all the functions and many categories in here. Excel has actually too many functions in all fields you can think of. Let's talk about this when we come to the part of the functions section in this session. Okay. Type. What about using plus or negative sign? I can use plus 5 plus 3 plus 2, same as the previous one, but instead of starting with an equal sign, I'm starting with plus sign. This will give me exactly the same result. And if I used negative, so I say, for example, negative 5 plus 6, and this of course will give me positive 1. If I push enter, it will give me positive 1. And of course, if I hit negative 5 plus 2, this will give me negative 3, as you can see. Okay, so here you can see I started with the negative sign, and Excel automatically adds an equal to my equation. In this one, I started with negative, and Excel automatically added equal sign to my equation. Here, I started with plus sign, and Excel ignored this plus and replaced it with an equal sign. And this is my original equation, which I already started with equal. So basically, you need to start with an equal sign, because this is a clear sign for Excel to start using a formula. But as I was saying, you can also use plus or minus signs, and Excel will consider them as equations as well, and will add this equal sign in your equation. Okay, طيب. Of course, as I mentioned before, we are not using Excel as a calculator like this, because we do have a calculator in our computer or our mobile, everywhere, maybe on our desk. So we are using Excel for more complicated functions. For example, let's see this example. Okay, here in this example, we can see our company has 10 shops, and these are the sales numbers maybe in quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the last year. And I need to know the total amount of sales per shop. For example, shop 1, how much are total sales for it, and same for shop 2 and 3, and so on. Same, I need to get quarter 1 sales for the full company, so I need to get the total for the full column here, and same for second, third, and fourth quarters. And finally, I need to get all sales for the company. First of all, I need to mention, when you select or highlight some cells like these, and if the cells contains some numbers, you can see some formulas, or sorry, some information down there. Like for example, the summation of the total, يعني, of these 4 cells. These are giving total of 2170, and the maximum is 838, and the minimum is here. The number of them, these are 4 cells, and the average is like so. Okay, طيب. How can we do this calculation? We will do it in 2 ways. The first one using a formula, and the second time we will use a function which should give us more more capabilities, or should be more advanced, and of course it will be faster than doing a simple function. Sorry, a simple formula. Type. Let's start with the first way, the formula way. As we were saying, we need to start with a plus sign. Then we will need to add this cell. We will click it like this. See what was typed in here. C4. What is C4? This is the name of this cell. So how Excel is naming these cells? Excel is naming these cells by using a combination for column and row for the cell. So this cell is an intersection between column C and row number 4, like this. So it is C4. So I can add plus the second one, which is D4 as well. I click it. Of course, I can type it, but it is easier for us to click it. Plus, I will type here E4, plus I will click F4, and then I will hit enter. Now it gives me the same amount which was shown in here, down there, as a total of these 4 cells. Let's do it again. Let's come in the next cell in here. Equal this plus this plus this plus this, and enter. So easy. I will do it one more time. Equal this plus this plus this plus this, and then when I have finished, I need to push enter like this. Now I asked Excel to do a simple formula combined of 4 references. Each one of these is called reference. We will talk about them just right now. And I asked Excel to add them together at C6 plus D6 plus E6 plus F6. So these are added together, and then I hit enter or push this sign or this icon to accept my formula. Okay, طيب. Of course, we can drag any formula or any cell from this tiny square like this and release mouse button to have the same formula copied from one cell to the other. I can pull them till the end like this, and I can do the same in here. I can hit equal and ask Excel to sum this, all these cells together. Okay. طيب. Let's talk now about references. What is C4? What is D4? What are these? As I mentioned a few minutes ago, Excel names these cells by the name of its column and its row. So the intersection is the name of the cell. For example, the cell which contains the word sales here resides on the column B and row 3. So this is B3. When I click it or highlight it or select it, I can see its name or its reference written over here in the name box. This box, this small box, is called a naming box or a name box. Okay, so today we have been introduced to this formula bar and now the name box. Okay, right. So each cell I click, I can see G14. That means column G and row 14 and so on. So I can type a formula by using these names to refer to this cell, not as what we were doing a minute ago by clicking the explicit number equal 5 plus 3. No, I don't need to give these numbers explicitly like this, because whenever the numbers get changed, I have to retype my formula. But in this case, I can change all these numbers, for example, in the next year or the year before or whatever, for any period, and all the equations will recalculate again all these numbers and will give me the new information, the new summation, the new totals. Okay, this will be done automatically. For example, if I can come in here in this 130 and say, oh no, this must be wrong, this is too low, and this shop was making maybe 200 here because it was just opened recently in this quarter, but in the next quarter it made 800, and the last quarter it made 600. This number must be wrong. So I asked my colleagues to recheck the sales numbers for shop number 5, and I found out, yes, it is true, it was 730, not 130. So when I come in here and change this number to 730, I will find this total get changed immediately. Let's see, I will remove this one and replace it with 7, so it is 730. Please note this one, 1844 when I hit enter, it must be, or it should be changed immediately, like so. So changing these numbers will result to a change in the totals in here. Now we are talking about only 10 shops. Maybe if you are working in a bigger organization, you're having hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands of customers, and you need to do some calculations for all these customers. Maybe you are working in um, a network company or cell phone company, and you have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of customers, and you need to do some submission for their balances or invoices or so for 1 month to another month. So you have maybe thousands of these customers, not just 10 shops like in here. In this case, Excel will be very much handy. Maybe if you, of course, if you are using, if you are a member in a bigger corporation, maybe Excel cannot handle this too much amount of information. But until medium companies with thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of records, Excel can handle very easy. Maybe you can add tens of thousands of transactions for each shop of these. Maybe each shop contains some few thousands of transactions to make these amounts. So you can add them together using Excel very, very easy. Okay. Fine. We have learned here how to do a simple summation using a formula, using a plus sign like this. And we have learned that each cell has a name or a default name, which is a combination of its column and row. The intersection should be the cell name, and as an example, here is C5. Let's try to do the same exact thing, but by using a function, a ready-made function, not adding them like this as a formula. I need to refer to this cell, which should contain total of column 1, which is quarter 1, and I will come to this function button, hit it, will choose most recent, and then I will choose sum. This sum function will do a summation for us. I will hit OK. Now I can see a dialog box like this asking me to type whatever I want to add up. By default, Excel is smart enough to recognize that you are referring to a cell which is the very last cell in a column full of numbers, and by logic it must be the summation of this column what I need in this cell. So automatically it adds C4 colon here means to C13. That means you need to add up from C4, which is this cell, until C13, which is that cell. And immediately I will do nothing, just I will hit OK, because I am agreeing with Excel. This is what I need exactly. Right. Let's do the same in the second one, but with slight difference. I will hit this formula function, insert function button. I will choose sum, double click or click OK, and here it also detected from D4 to D13. I will disagree with Excel. Maybe Excel didn't get it, or maybe it didn't show a suggestion like this. I will delete it and will try to do it myself. How to select this range? I will refer to this number or this row or this cell, and will go to the area that I need, will press my button and pull. See, it is adding D4, D5, D9, D10, D11, D12, D13. See, it is here, in here. See, when I move my mouse, it's getting changed in here and in the formula bar up there. See, it is getting changed. And there is a small message telling me 8R, that means these are 8 rows by 1 column. See, 9R multiplied by or 8 rows by 1 column, 10 rows by 1 column. I will release my mouse key. The window returns back to its original size, and it is typing D4 to D13. I will hit OK. Let's do it again here in another way. I will type it myself. Equal. Don't forget the equal, because equal means whatever you are typing should be processed. Sum. Excel helps me with the spelling. I will open a parenthesis, or maybe I can type a tab key, and then I will drag then I need to close my parenthesis, or simply I can press enter and it will close it automatically. Let me type it from scratch. Equal. Okay, let's see it without equal. Sum. So see, it doesn't help me here, because Excel now without the equal sign is assuming that I am typing the word sum, not asking for a for processing. Let me just start with equal sum, open parenthesis, F4 colon F13. Okay, we'll close, hit enter, save. Of course, we need to add 1000 separator to make our numbers look nice. We can do it just from here, remove the zeros, so there is 1000 separator. I can do it from format cells, and here can go to numbers, use 1000 separator, and hit OK. See? Okay. Now I need to come in this cell and get the sum for everything. Now I can use a shortcut, which is Alt and plus sign. This is a shortcut for the summation process itself. Alt and plus, then I hit enter like this. It is giving me the full summation. I will do it again. Alt plus plus, or plus the equal or plus sign. Okay. Alt and equal. Alt and equal. Okay. Alt and equal. Okay. Let's see another example. You know, sometimes we need to memorize our multiplication table. I will copy this one, come here, paste special. If you remember this, I'm trying to do it, and we'll use transpose to flip it like so. I'm trying to do it with you just to recall our previous discussions. Now I'm using this all borders to add borders inside, and I will use this surrounding thick border to add borders outside. I will use these to align the numbers like so. Now I need to do a multiplication table. That means I need to multiply 1 by 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 1, and so on. Then I will come 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and 2 by 1, 2 by 2, 2 by 4, and so on. So I need to multiply this one by this one and spread it across this table. Okay? How can we do this? Simple. I will use equal. This one, I hit up. Multiply. This one, I will hit left. Again, equal, up, multiply, left, left. Again, equal, up, multiply, left, left, left. And so on. This one, equal, up, up, multiply, left, left. And if we start doing this, I will have to fill all these 100 cells by myself. I will take too much time. I need to do it in a snap like this. How can I do it? You will tell me this is simple. I can just copy and paste this formula to every cell and it should work. Let's see if it will work or not. If I copy this one from here or drag it from here to the next one, what will happen? It is working. Let's go again. It's not working. Let's go again. It's not working either. Something is wrong is happening. Let's go get this one here. This is 0. Let's go get this one here. Something is wrong. It's not copying. And of course, I have ruined my format. Let me do the format again. Like this. And let me delete all these. Delete. The secret resides in these two references. How is this? When I refer to my formula bar and click it, I can see C4 is in blue, B5 is in red, and I can see a highlight in here. This selection is in blue. That means this blue is this C4 and this red is this B5. Okay? Type. Let me accept it. And I will drag. It has worked. Actually, no, it doesn't work. But let me drag it again. Or let's see what happened here. Let's go. When I moved or copied or made an autofill from this cell to the next one, all the references moved by 1. That means C4 became now D4 because C moved to D, and B5 is now C5 because I moved from left to right. So I'm changing the columns with the same row. So 4 stays the same and 5 stays the same. Let's go back again and see. This is D4 multiplied by C5. Let's go back. C4 instead of D4, B5. See, these are the difference. This is the first one. C multiplied by B, the second one, D multiplied by C. So it moved. Let's see it again. This one multiplied by this one. But the other cell, it has moved like this. And just by accident, it moved to this cell which contains 1, same as this one which should be referring to, which is also 1, and it seems to be working, but it's not actually. When I move it again, now it will move from this cell to the one beside it, which is 2, and now it will multiply this 3, which is correct, by this 2, which is wrong, and now it is giving 6 instead of 3. So how can we tell Excel, please don't move the references as we go? How to fix the reference? Actually, we have something called relative reference, and this is what we are using in here. This is relative reference. That means whenever we move, the reference moves with us. And we have something else which is called fixed reference. That means whenever we move, the reference doesn't move with us. How can we fix this? Let's see. We have cell C4 like this. Okay. Multiplied by something else. Let's just focus on C and 4. C represents the column and 4 represents the row. Actually, we can fix either the column or the row or both of them as you need. Okay, so how to fix them and why do we need to fix them? We have seen in this example, why do we need to fix them? In this example, we need to fix which one? The column or the row? Let's come in here. This cell should be referring to B, not C. So what we need to fix in here is the column, not the row. Okay, so I need to fix the column, and it doesn't matter if I fix the row or not. How can I fix the column? Simply, I can fix the column by adding a dollar sign before it. So it should read as $C4. Let's come in. Okay, type which one I need to fix, C4, which is this one, or B5, which is this one. Let's move here. D4, which is correct. C5 has moved. It should be B5. Should be B5. Okay. So the one that I need to fix is the red one. I need to come in the first one I typed. C4, this is correct. B5 need to be fixed. Okay. So I need to come before the B in here. Shift 4 to add a dollar sign like this. Hit enter. Let's drag it. Now, when I come to anyone and see the content, I can see it multiplying G4, which is correct, by B5, which is correct. Okay, so B5 is now fixed from one cell to the second. Type. What if I move this row, entire row, try to autofill it like this? Now something is wrong. Why? Let's choose anyone randomly and come here. It is multiplying h5, which is wrong. It should be h4 by b6, which is correct. So we have fixed this part of the formula, but we didn't fix the first one, so we need to fix it as well. In this case, and here is an example, C4. Here it is using h5, which it should be h4, and it needs to remain h4. The one beside it, I5, it should be I4. That means the number in this case should be fixed. So I need to remove the dollar sign from here and add it to the row. So I need to make it C4 or A, whatever, A4, H4, whatever. Okay, right. Let's go again. Let's delete this one. Come in here. We have fixed the second part of the formula. Now we need to fix the first part of the formula. C needs not to be fixed, but 4 needs to be fixed because we need to use this row and we don't need to move from 4. So I will come in here before the 4 and hit shift 4 to use this dollar sign before the number 4. Now I will hit enter. Now I need to come and copy this cell and come here, paste it like this. If you choose anyone, let's say 5 by 4, it's 20, and here it is. We can copy and paste it to everything. Of course, we can use shortcut of F2, then Control Enter, like so. It will affect everything. My formula, my format is ruined like this. Let me redo it again. Okay. Here it is. Every one of these cells are now giving the same or the correct answer. Let's check anything randomly. Let's say 5 by 7. This is 35. Let's say 9 by 8, 72, and so on and so forth. Right. Let's recap it quickly. We have any cell of these cells I can refer to by typing equal and refer to the cell. For example, equal this one, 7. When I hit enter, it will give me the same value. If I change it to 1, 2, 3, it will be changed here to 1, 2, 3. So I'm referring to this cell, which is B11. Okay, B11. I am referring to B11. Okay. And I can use this reference in any formula or function, like for example this multiplication, or for example a summation like this, the first sample here, or example sum C4 until or to C13. I'm referring to a range of cells from this one to this one. So the name of any cell of these cells is combined of two parts: name of the row, then name of the column, then name of the row. So it is C4, for example. Okay, or in this case it is B11. Okay, right. When I refer to B11 like this, when I copy this cell and paste it somewhere else, the reference inside will shift. If I move horizontally, the column will change. If I move vertically, the row will change. For example, let me copy this one, paste it on the next cell. So B will be C, paste. So B11 is now C11. So moving horizontally increases columns by 1, and moving vertically increases row by 1. Now it is B12 instead of B11. Okay. So what if I don't want to move my cell? I need to decide which part of the cell I need to fix. Is it the column part or the row part? The part that I need to fix, I need to add a dollar sign before it, like this, or like this, or both, of course. I can add dollar sign before B and another dollar sign before 11, so I am fixing both of them. Okay, so I need to decide which one I need to fix, either one of them or both of them or none. In this case, or in our example here, we needed to fix the row for one part and the column for the other one, just for the sake of this exact example. But if we have, for example, the previous example here, and I need to multiply all these by a certain number, like what we have seen before in previous sessions, I can type the number that I need in here. For example, 1.25, that means it is 125%. Let me just copy and paste special formats only this table, and I want to multiply each one of these by this fixed number. I will come in here, hit equal this one multiplied by that one, and that one must be fixed, column and row. So I need to add dollar sign in here, dollar sign in here, and hit enter. Now I can copy, select everything, paste the special formula. Okay, now everything is multiplied by 25%. I can add 1.5, this is 50%. Now it is 50%, and so on. So changing this number will affect everything. So how to do this? I have fixed K1. See, in all cells here it is K1, 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 K1. This is why I have added dollar sign before K and another dollar sign before 1. But in the blue section, I didn't add anything because I wanted it to move freely as I go. When I choose the first cell, it is referring to the first cell. When I'm choosing the second cell, it is choosing the second cell, but it is multiplying only by one single number. I hope this is clear. So we can fix the column or the row by adding dollar sign before any one of them. Okay. What else are we going to discuss in this session? Let's have some quick review about formula fundamentals. Okay, here is what we are talking about, a simple formula multiplying two numbers by each other, 150 multiplied by 0.05. This is a fixed multiplication or a fixed formula, and this is The reference also we have discussed A1 plus A2. That means we are doing a summation of the content of cell A1 and adding it up to the content of cell A2. But what is this? We have something here called income minus expense. What is this? Actually, this is called a naming. What is this naming option? Let's go to Excel. Okay, let's see. I have prepared a small example here. We have the same shops, but now we are talking about revenues and expenses in here. I can give a name to this range. So this full range can have a name, any name you wish. Revenues maybe A, B, C, whatever the name you wish to add to it, column 1, whatever. And this range as well, I can give it another name. How can we do this? We can just highlight and go to this naming box, click it, and type the name that we need. For example, I will name it as Rev, R-E-V, as stand for revenues, and we'll hit enter. And I will do the same for the other range, EXP. As I have said, we can name it whatever you wish. I didn't name it as expenses to make you understand that it shouldn't be as the header or so. It can be any name. When I select anything, any part of the range, nothing happens here. But when I select the full range, notice now it is showing the name for this range instead of the first selected cell like this. If I'm selecting partial selection, the first one name will show in here, same as in here. But when I select full range, I can see its name. So now if I need to subtract expenses from revenues, instead of doing the normal and hitting equal revenues minus expenses, this is regular. No, I can come here and say equals rev, and you can see Excel is helping me, minus ex, and here is exp as expenses like this. Sorry, I need to add the p. exp like this. Okay, now it is giving me the same result, but the advantage here, if I add anything to this range or to that range, it still holds the name, and I can just do a meaningful formula, revenues minus expenses. I can drag them all the way down, okay, or I can just copy it and select all of them. Formula, this is a shortcut for formula. Here it is, escape. See, now all of them are having the exact same formula, rev minus exp, or revenues minus expenses, in all cells. There are no traditional names, no D5 or E6 or whatever, no, nothing like this. In all cells we have only these two names. So whatever comes in revenue is or whatever comes in expenses is subtracted from the opposite revenue cell. Okay, type. So this is income minus expenses, and this is how to name your range. Summation, we have seen summation, simple summation, sum, open parenthesis, and type the range from A1 to A12, and this will add all the in-between cells together and give you the summation. And this is a comparative equation equals. This is to let Excel understand that we are going to type an equation, and here is the equation itself. A1 equals C12. That means does both are equal or they are not equal. So is A1 equals to C12? This is the question here, and this would return either true or false depending on the values in both cells. We have actually in doing a formula, we have order for operations. That means if we are using summation, multiplication, division, and so, which one is going to be calculated first? These are the steps or the orders, the order that Excel will do the calculation depending on. The first of all, exponents or roots. If we have exponent on the formula or root, that will be calculated first. After that, we get the value of this operation, and we'll move next to all multiplications or divisions in the formula from left to right. After completing these multiplications and divisions and getting the results, then we can move to any additions and subtractions also from left to right. After completing these operations and getting the results, we can go for concatenation. And concatenation here means to add this result to something else as a text. We combine the value as it is with another value. And after all this is done, we go to the logical comparison or logical expression, and that is like this one: A1 equals C12. Does it equal or not? So maybe the result of all the previous equation or formula comes here, and then we can compare it to something at the very end of the order. Let's have a quick example here. 5 plus 4 multiplied by -5, and this is raised to the power of 3 divided by 6. Wow, this is a very complicated equation. How Excel is gonna analyze this equation, and the result is gonna come depending on which order. Excel would do the following. First, we'd go to negation, this minus. This is one of the first operations that Excel will handle. So even before exponent or root signs. Why? And it wasn't actually mentioned in the previous slide, because actually it is not an operation by itself. It is a figure. We are not talking about +5, we are talking about -5. So first of all, it will identify that this 5 is not a positive number, it is a negative number, and it will deal with it as negative. Then it will raise this -5 to the power of 3. So it will raise 5 to the third power. So -5 by -5 by -5, it will give -125. So this part will be done first, -5 to the power of 3. Then it will seek the division and multiplication from left to right. So from left to right, this is a summation. It will ignore this is a multiplication. This will be the first thing to be done. So it needs to multiply this 125 by 4, and this will give us 500, and then we'll keep searching for any multiplication or division. Now it can see a division sign, which is divided by 6. So the 500, which comes from 4 multiplied by 125, will be divided by this 6. So it will be like this. Do division and the multiplication from left to right. So 4 multiplied by negative 125, and this will give us this 500, and then the 500 will be divided by the number 6 and the number 6, so it will be 83 point something. And at the end, after completing all this portion, the only thing will be left is the positive sign. So Excel will scan from left to right. From left it will be 5, then plus, then 83.3, so that will give us 78.3, and this should be the result. Let's try it in Excel and see what will happen. Equal 5 plus 4 multiplied by negative 5 raised to the power of 3 divided by 6. That's it. Same result, as you can see. That's it, guys, for today's session. Inshallah, next session we will be talking about many functions, like functions related to date and time, functions related to math, functions, statistical functions, lookup functions, text functions, and logical functions, including the if statement, which decides whether to do one thing or another depending on a condition. Hope you have enjoyed today's session, and looking to see you inshallah next time. Thank you.